The last month has been pretty tough, and today I want to share with you 3 things that I've learned that I'm going to change to improve my productivity and help me move toward my goals. So to put this into context, this journey is all about me getting to £1,000 a month online. That's not offline earning or having a job or face-to-face service business or anything like that. This is just online, something scalable to £1,000 a month that can then be scaled up to 2,000, then 4, then 8, and then you can start hitting those lovely goals of 10K a month, every month, 12, 15, 20, 30, and so forth up there. That is what I'm trying to achieve. So it's a very simple goal. I really think that 500 a month with a scalable model or £1,000 a month is a great place to start. I know that there are people who earn 7 figures. I personally know people who are earning 7 figures a month who would just laugh at that, but they would acknowledge that, yeah, don't despise humble beginnings, because especially if it's a scalable model, you can scale it up. But the last month has been very difficult. When you are building something, a small business on your own, you're a solopreneur or in a partnership, a small business, in the beginning, you're not being paid for any of the work. So you're putting in all of this effort. And yes, there is the tactic of having a vision and reading it every day and all of that good stuff. But there are times where you just get ground down. And for me, I've noticed that the more I've got ground down and the harder it's got, it's like crossing a desert. The harder it has got to keep momentum, the more I have found myself soothing with watching YouTube. So on my way walking to my workspace, like a cafe, I'll find myself breaking out the iPhone and watching, I don't know, a bit of a certain podcast, or I'm a big boxing fan, catching up on the boxing news and cramming in YouTube and learning, sort of listening to a marketing podcast, and all of this information coming at me all of the time. That's going to stop, and I'll tell you why in a second. The second thing is that when I'm in this space that happens every now and then when you work for yourself, I guess, and you're in the early stages, putting in all the work and receiving no money. The other thing that happens is I find myself at home in the evening. I get back after the gym, I'm tired, I eat something, and I'll sit there and again, the phone comes out and I'll start watching content, like Eddie Hearn, I think he's a very entertaining guy, to catch up on the boxing news, or whatever, Andrew Huberman podcast. And it's a way of escaping, and it's a way of getting cheap dopamine. All of this content coming at you all the time is cheap dopamine. And so I end up staying up late, and that then affects me the next day because I work to my own hours. So I then wake up the next day, I went to bed later than I normally would, my sleep routine is off. Consistency is very, very important when it comes to good sleep. I just heard this again. And so it affects my sleep routine, it affects my ability to focus, and that then has an impact the next day. You have to put more effort in trying to focus to get work done, but you're out of whack from the night before. So listening to too much content, just in general, and then staying up late at night, not going to bed at a consistent hour, very, very bad. So about a month ago, as I said at the beginning of this video, I noticed that I was just starting to feel exhausted. Like, where is this all going? I'm struggling to focus, and I was listening to more YouTube, and my sleep routine was suffering. And I was fighting on, but I was just grinding to a halt. A couple of nights ago, I was on YouTube again, and I thought that something's got to change. I watched a Dopamine Detox video. And I've heard of this concept many times, but this time, like I've said in my other videos, there are layers to learning things. It just hit me differently. And I watched 2 different videos from 2 different guys who I really respect, and both of them said one of the top things they do when they're doing a dopamine detox, which they felt really reset their focus, was they had a rule of no YouTube. Just this constant influx of information fries your brain and your ability to focus. And it just struck me. I thought, wow, this is it. I've got to stop listening to watching YouTube. So that's one thing I've learned, and that's really going to help me in the evening go to bed at a better time. I've known about the importance of both of these things, but the last month has just been really difficult. And yeah, I had some work blocks where I was getting a lot done, and then other work blocks where I literally had to just shut my laptop and leave. I could not focus. So I'll let you know how this goes. I have a video coming up in the next week, I would say, where I undertook a challenge that was issued by a very well-known influencer to run a marathon with only 12 days preparation. My fitness level was very basic. The reason I did that was because the influencer said, it really served him to improve his self-belief. And that's the last topic of this video. Is, again, this is a cliche. I've heard it so many times, but I didn't realize how important this is. When you launch something online, when you put your work out there, you have got to have solid self-belief, a great self-image. If you don't, that is going to hold you back in a big way, in a massive way. And I didn't realize how much. That's a separate video. I'll talk about this on a separate video, but I've been learning about this. It's massive. So anyway, he put a challenge, issued a challenge to say, do something very difficult to end the year. And for me, I wanted to do the exact challenge. That video he put out there, issuing the challenge, was on the exact day, 2 or 3 years prior, when he decided he was going to run a marathon on Christmas Eve. So that came out on the 12th of December. He was going to run a marathon on the 24th. And I saw that story come up on my phone on the 12th of December. I became aware that this was an area I wanted to work on. So I knew as soon as I saw this video, I'll be doing a YouTube video on this. It's coming out in a week or so. It will be edited. Unfortunately, it's all iPhone vertical, but it will be, I hope, very watchable. I will talk about the journey I went through with that. So 12th of December, I saw this story, and I just thought I have no choice but to try, at least anyway, and do a marathon with 12 days training. It turned out to be, anyway, watch the video. So there are 3 things I just want to share. Yeah, the last month has been really tough. It's been hard to focus. It's been motivation's been lacking. I've questioned everything I'm doing. Yeah, it's been really lonely. It's been a strange time, to be honest with you. But the constant watching of YouTube is going to stop. That's going to help my focus, I believe. I'm going to do a dopamine detox for 7 days, and I'll update you on how that goes. That in turn will help my sleep regularity. I have heard 1,001 times from very accomplished, bright people like Tim Ferriss how important sleep is. He said about his book Tools of Titans, where I think he interviewed 100 millionaires and billionaires, that 92% of them or something cited guarding their sleep routine as paramount to them being productive and achieving the things they have. So I've heard it so many times, but just lately it's been this last month, my sleep's been out of whack. That's affected my focus, too much YouTube. And I'm going to talk more in the future about the self-belief issue. When you launch a business online, you've got to have belief. It's cliche, but it's so true. So I just wanted to leave this video here to say, yeah, pretty raw, maybe not the best structure to this, but They're three things. I'll report on how the dopamine detox goes, and hope you're having a great week.